Welcome back to this episode, How to Close Clients Without Selling, the no-sell conversation framework. If you're good at what you do and sales still feel awkward, exhausting, or inconsistent, this episode is for you. Not because you need better scripts, not because you need a better funnel, and definitely not because you're bad at sales. It's because you were taught the wrong definition of selling. I work with coaches, consultants, creators, and heart-centered professionals who genuinely help people. They're ethical, they're skilled, they care deeply. And yet, when the conversation shifts from connection to commitment, everything tightens. They hesitate, they over-explain, they give way too much away, they walk off their calls drained instead of energized. So today, I want to show you a different way to close clients, one that doesn't rely on pressure, manipulation, or clever wording. This is how to close clients without selling, by having better conversations. Most sales trainings teach you what to say. Very few sales trainings teach you how to lead a conversation. You're handed scripts, you're taught to overcome objections, you're told to manufacture urgency and scarcity. But here's what people miss. People don't buy when they're convinced. They buy when their internal conflict collapses. Pressure creates resistance. Logic creates delay. Inspiration without pain creates inaction. Real sales don't happen in the intellect. They happen underneath it. That's why so many heart-centered professionals feel gross trying to sell. They're forcing something that's meant to emerge. If your sales calls aren't converting consistently, it's most never because of the offer. It's usually one of these 4 breakdowns. Number 1, rapport stays surface level. You're friendly, but not grounded. Likable, but not anchored. Rapport isn't small talk. It's emotional safety. People only move when they feel safe enough to tell the truth. 2, pain gets identified but not experienced. Most coaches name pain. Very few help clients feel it. There's a massive difference between that sounds frustrating and I can see how this has been quietly eroding your confidence. Pain that stays intellectual never converts. Number 3, hope gets introduced too early. Hope feels good, and if you use it too soon, it kills sales. Selling possibility before pain is integrated. Selling possibility before pain creates emotional highs, false certainty, and buyer's remorse. That's why people say yes and then disappear. And number 4, the cost of inaction never gets addressed. If staying the same still feels safe, there's no reason to change. And later is the most expensive word in business. There's a moment of powerful sales. Number 4, the cost of inaction never gets addressed. If staying the same still feels safe, there's no reason to change. And later is the most expensive word in business. There's a moment on powerful sales calls where everything shifts. Not because of a clever close, not because of urgency, not because of discounts. It happens when the client realizes something uncomfortable and freeing at the same time. I'm not questioning your value. I'm questioning my own. That's the epiphany moment. That's when responsibility returns to the client without pressure. And that's why the best closes don't sound like selling. They sound like clarity. Quick story. There's 3 frogs on a log. One decides to jump off. How many frogs are left? 3. Because deciding to jump is not the same as jumping. Most people live their entire lives on the log. I'll start when I'm ready. I need more clarity. Next month will be better. That's why people consume endless marketing content but never move. Action creates clarity. Clarity does not create action. Here's the part most people avoid. The real cost isn't your program fee. It's staying exactly where you are. How many courses are unfinished? How many almosts are behind you? How many times did you feel this close? Inaction trains your nervous system to believe one thing: I don't follow through. And over time, that belief leaks into your confidence, your leadership, your creativity, and your self respect. That's why authority doesn't come from tactics, it comes from identity. Sales isn't about getting someone to say yes, it's about helping them stop lying to themselves. When done right, sales restore agency. They reinforce self trust, they create momentum. And that's why the best clients stay longer, re enroll, refer others, and become testimonials. That's why the best clients stay longer. Oh, questions like, what's not? Oh gosh, I gotta redo this one. That's why the best clients stay longer, re enroll, refer others, and most importantly, become testimonials. You can argue marketing, you cannot argue with a real customer. Customer emotion is the most underused currency in business. Testimonials collapse sales cycles, they transfer trust instantly, and they pre handle objections. Ads rent attention, testimonials own it. And if every call starts cold, you're already behind. Your calendar Your booking calendar should be asking questions to pre-frame the sale for you and to pre-frame the commitment for you before you ever talk to them. You should be asking questions in your forms like, what's not working for you anymore? And what are you afraid will happen if nothing changes? That's the content that I want booked on my calls. And time and money aren't objections, they're fear. Fear it won't work, fear they'll fail again, and fear they'll be disappointed. Fear doesn't get resolved with logic, it gets resolved through belief transfer. And that's why pushing harder fails and holding firmer converts. Here's the structure at a high level: rapport, pain, hope, cost of inaction, epiphany, in the invitation. I don't teach scripts, I teach structure. This episode hit home for you. It's because part of you already knows something needs to change. I put together a free training that you can have access to in the show notes. No scripts, no hypes, no manipulation. Just a better way to have conversations that converts to clients. Just a better way to have a conversation that will convert to a client.